Hello everybody, it's Valerie Ling coming to you after a day of skateboarding my way. Skateboarding. So I talk about the skateboard way rather than work-life balance, which is comprises of, number one, being able to recognize where your limits are with regards to your energy and starting to feel like you're actually getting dangerously to the point of depletion. Number two, being able to scan your intuitively and just go through your resourcing tanks and figure out what those tanks are and see where you need to fill it up. And number three, the skateboarding method really is being able to be flexible with the way that you view productivity and the way that you view yourself so that you can readjust and come back to a state of feeling balanced. So earlier today, I posted a video about how I had been feeling from yesterday and then waking up in the morning, making a series of decisions. Well, my day has come to an end and I'd like to report back to you. What did I land up doing really? I did go to the cafe. I did actually sit down and ignored the emails that were coming. I ignored the messages that were coming. I would normally start my day by actually checking through my emails and starring and prioritizing and categorizing, only dealing with an email once and replying. I didn't do the emails today. I headed really into doing the things that would bring me front and center into feeling like I can do this, I'm competent in these areas, I'm confident in these areas, and they bring me a great sense of joy. So I exercised some deep focus and only focused in on my client work that is related to burnout. That was number one. Just my current individual clients, focusing on what they need and attending to that. I did something creative as well. That was the second thing on my list, which it's kind of fun for me to do a bunch of Canva posts and play around with some new things. This has got to do with the last thing I did today, which I'll come to. And finally, what I did in terms of my top list of work things that I tackle front on was a concept that I call seal my day. Now, usually I would do seal my day at the end of my day, but I've been running just trying to catch up with stuff that I hadn't do it. And it really was, I hadn't realized how much it was bugging me, but it was really bugging me, right? So one of my top values is professionalism and professional practice. And I just don't like leaving a couple of things undone in my professional work as a psychologist, and I had to tackle it. And here's an interesting thing. I was actually due back in the practice for an admin meeting starting at whatever, I can't remember what time it was, and I knew that if I didn't exercise some flexibility and adaptability and actually finish the seal my day part, which was really starting to bug me, which was, really niggling on my values, I would come undone. Every good thing that I had done in the morning with regards to my self-care, put on a face, there's not much left of it actually, would have just been gone undone. Took a minute to think about it and to really challenge the thought that I believe I'm a boss who shows up and turns up. I want to be that boss. I don't want to actually not turn up on the admin meeting. But I also have a belief that nobody is indispensable, and that every now and again, removing myself from the picture allows for my team to rise to the occasion, to show their strengths, to synergize and energize, and to problem solve themselves without me being that space. And I decided it was worth actually heading in that second direction and actually calling the practice and saying that I just needed to have another 45 minutes before I came in. Would you be able to start the meeting without me? I trust you've got this. So-and-so, take the lead and I'll meet you in 45 minutes. So that's what I did. Then I took a leisurely drive into the office and went in straight into the meeting. And yes, lo and behold, things were great. I didn't need to be there. Now, we have a pretty unique and remarkable team. Some of our staff members don't actually live in Sydney. They actually work remotely. And here was a meeting between our practice manager who's in Sydney, my executive assistant who's in Brisbane, having a meeting over Zoom, reviewing policies and procedures and fine-tuning systems and looking at our KPIs together. And, they figured out how they were going to communicate. And I almost felt like when I stepped in at that mark, I was going to mess things up because they had just got this beautiful thing happening. And it was true. The minute I came in and started saying, oh, what about this? What about that? My executive assistant, the lovely Kathy, would say, I thought about that, or I'm getting about that. And I realized, Valerie, they are in flow. Walk away from that. They are in flow. Hold back, because you need to see, I need to see, right, that I don't have to be in the mess and in the stuff of everything. So that was very positive. I then also had an opportunity to be authentic to my values. I don't know if my team members actually really know how much I think about this, but being authentic to my values of my why in my practice is to replicate, to pay it forward, right? To see a world without burnout by giving people an opportunity and experience to actually live it in their work. And so connected with my teammates who were in the practice and explained to them, look, I left yesterday looking like completely spent, and I can tell you that by the end of the night I was pretty spent. I had some time to reflect on it, and I realized that because we're doing all these policies and procedures and manual work and problem solving, where things aren't working and how do we fix it, I'd spent like 7 days after my 1 month of clinical leave just in the detail. Now, my personality type, I am an ENTJ on the Myers-Briggs. My need for intuition is probably sky high next to my extroversion. And being in that much of detail for that long was just impacting me. So I had an opportunity to actually be able to express that, and to express that I was grateful that they were able to start off the day without me, but also to instill a sense of confidence that I'd been thinking about it. And so showing up for me today didn't necessarily mean showing up to fix everything, or to be around for the meeting, or beat myself up about being late, or beat myself up. But my showing up today was to get clear here. Really get clear here, so that my showing up meant that I was taking care of what I needed to do so that I could be present and available for them, and to lead and to direct from a space of clarity and not reactivity. Then we had the rest of our day, and guess what? Here's the interesting thing. I had Thursday is my key passion work. Doesn't mean that Monday isn't, but I usually do more of the project stuff. But I had clients booked in today as well, just to catch up because I've been away for so long. And what happened is that I had I thought that I was just running on empty to see these back-to-back appointments, and then turned up for an online appointment and wondered why nobody was there, and then looked at my diary and realized that in the forward planning, because we plan our practice stuff 3 months in advance, and my diary is usually very often packed beforehand, so a lot of these appointments are beforehand, that I'd actually given myself a half an hour lunch break. Oh, well done me. So had my mindful, well, not really. I didn't really have a mindful lunch break. Look, that's nobody's fault. I was up for it, but I did manage to have a 30-minute break. Did the rest of my work and went on. And then here's another thing that I did today that was different. I know that tomorrow, which is, so the thing you need to know about me is that my work week is really bizarre, because on Sunday, our family is really in high gear. We actually do so my husband being a pastor of a church means that Sunday is really for us a work or a clock on day, right? I wouldn't call it work. It is for him, not for me. And so my day off in lieu of that is usually a Friday. However, we're moving house, and I know that tomorrow I'm just not going to have that space. Tomorrow being Friday, I'm just not going to have that space to recharge and recover and to have that sort of day off. Normally what I would do, it doesn't mean that I do nothing, right? I'm still a mom and I've got the stuff to do, but I usually at least take a big chunk of the morning just to rest and to breathe and to feed myself and things like that. And I knew I wasn't going to have that. So the skateboard way then for me was to think, if I'm not going to have that recovery period, knowing we're in a high peak zone at the moment, and knowing that I was already feeling quite depleted because of all the practice issues that I was dealing with, what did I need to do today between these two periods, peak periods, right? Moving house, as well as figuring out some of the practice stuff. And I decided that I was going to actually take 2 hours to have some time off. It being Thursday afternoon, 2 hours to take some time off. Lo and behold, I get a phone call. The NBN guy, who actually has an appointment tomorrow, rang to say that he's coming today. To which I said a firm no. No, you're not coming today, you're coming tomorrow. And after talking with him, there was good reason for why he wanted to come today. And I thought, it was in the family's best interest anyway that we get this sorted out, because we're moving house, and these days you can't seem to do anything without internet, and so probably getting the internet looked at. But decided that on principle I wasn't gonna mess around with this 2 hour recovery period that I had for myself. And so again, you sort of dig into to psychological flexibility and ask yourself my 3 questions: how can I simplify, how can I automate, how can I delegate? I did simplify and delegate. I still kept my 2 hours and decided the simplified way was to head for dinner tonight. And after about 5 o'clock, you can pick up $5 boxes from the food court, right? So I'm like, that's my simplify. 5 o'clock, I'm just going to pick up a couple of $5 boxes for dinner. Automate, well, I can't really automate any of that. Hey Kathy, I've been talking about you, you're gonna have to listen. There's nothing much I can automate, but I can delegate. And counter my help-seeking behavior, which normally I don't like to reach out for help. And again, this thing pops up in my head: oh, Valerie, you just shouldn't have your 2 hours. This is indulgent. This is too much luxury. You should go home and be there for the NBN guy. I thought, no, I'm going to allow my family to actually come into this picture and be able to figure out for themselves whether we can do this together. And so delegating it just meant that we put a plan together. So yes, we'll do 5 o'clock dinner in the new house that doesn't have furniture, but because we've had takeout, we'll be able to eat. So in the new house that will not have furniture, and if hubby could pick up daughter, son is at camp, hubby pick up daughter, meet me there at the house at 6:30, then I'll have a couple of hours off as planned. And you know what, that couple of hours off was fantastic. I like sometimes to just follow my intuition, because I had so much of this detailed sensing stuff, 7-8 days of it. I just needed to feed my intuition. And what I decided to do was to actually feed myself things from my childhood. Does this sound weird? Well, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me alive. What can I eat from my childhood? And there's a bunch of things, and I thought, oh, do I want to really do this? This is a bit weird. Just go and have coffee and have a chocolate mud cake. Why not just have a chocolate mud cake? But actually the hunt of looking for food from my childhood just brought me into a really playful space, and I really had a lot of fun with it, and a real sense of achievement when I found these things and had a moment to just sit with it and enjoy it and indulge in some memories. So I'm a little all over, like, I'm a bit energized. Can you hear the energy? I'm kind of, that's usually a good sign. So that's how my day finished. Hi, Kathy. Kathy is my executive assistant, and she's watching. I'm thankful for you taking the lead today and charging on ahead without me while I had a chance to skateboard a little bit with my balance. All right, everybody, clocking off now.